Welcome to Showcasing Your Skills with Bullet Points by the MSUM Career Development Center. This video will answer, what are bullet points used for on resumes, and what steps can I follow to write a strong bullet point? Let's start with the first question. What are bullet points used for on resumes? Bullet points can be used in many resume sections, including your work experiences, involvement, volunteer-related coursework, and even education. You can use bullet points to identify skills or knowledge you gained from those experiences. Here are two examples of how you could identify skills or knowledge you've gained through bullet points. The first example shows how they highlighted their communication skills and conflict resolution skills from working as a server. The second example shows how a different job seeker highlighted the knowledge they gained from their coursework. They focused on specific knowledge they would need for their future work as a school psychologist, such as motivational theories. Another way to use bullet points on resumes is to highlight key accomplishments or responsibilities from your experiences. In these examples, you can see the job seeker highlighting key accomplishments, such as completing a 3-hour training and organizing a social event for over 80 attendees. They also highlighted their responsibilities, such as collaborating with a team to meet strict drive-through deadlines. So what steps can you follow to write a strong bullet point? The first step is to brainstorm, so get into a creative mindset. Part of being creative is not judging your ideas as you brainstorm. You'll come up with lots of bad ideas as you work on your bullet point, and that's part of the process. The most important thing is to get some ideas down. So choose an experience and list all of your responsibilities and accomplishments. Also list skills you developed or needed to do your job successfully, especially skills that you might use in a future job. Next, choose one skill, responsibility, or accomplishment that you will focus on for your first bullet point. Here, you can see that Scorch has brainstormed, I led meetings, teamwork, and I created a binder with notes for the next person in the role. He chose I led meetings as the idea to focus on for his first bullet point. The second step is to have the bullet point start with a verb. To get it into the correct verb tense, imagine that your bullet point is starting with the word I. If the bullet point makes sense with the word I in front, you're likely doing this right. Now, you won't include the word I in your bullet point, but it's a good way to test it out. We also wanted to start with an action verb. Hopefully, the reader can imagine you doing something. Avoid starting with words that don't feel active, such as something like responsible for. Here, we can see that Scorch wrote led meetings to get his bullet point to start with just the verb. If your bullet point is still fairly short, the third step is to add in more details. You can do that by answering a question, such as, how did you do it? Why did you do it? What was the result? Or who was involved? In this example, Scorch answered two questions. He answered with who by adding with team members, and he answered why by adding to plan learning objectives and activities. The fourth and final step is to add numbers if it applies. You might not have numbers to include, and that's okay. But if you can quantify something, you should. Numbers help show the scope of your work and how significant it was. Maybe you planned an event and can include how many people attended. Or maybe you could include the size of a budget or how many people you trained. Frequencies can also give employers a good idea of the scope of something you did. So you may want to add how often you did something. Here, we can see that Scorch added that he worked with 4 team members and that the meetings were bi-weekly. Now you try it. Pause the video and practice each step. Remember not to be too hard on yourself at each step. Just write down ideas and see where they lead. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out our other videos.